say his name time. It's Todd time, Todd time.
The biggest, most epic aliens, most epic aliens.
Hello and how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest Bethesda news, and today I want to focus on a statement made by Todd Howard, one of the few official statements from Todd Howard about Starfield, because I feel this statement low-key has kind of gone unnoticed by the Bethesda community, and maybe I should rephrase that. I don't mean the statement in itself has gone unnoticed by the Bethesda community, because a lot of people already know about this statement. It's one of the main reasons people are even hyped about this game, to be honest, but I believe this statement can basically confirm aliens will be in the game, and it can't officially confirm aliens will be in the game, so be sure to have that speculation salt with you for today's video, because generally, like anything else that has to do with Bethesda news, this does also involve that speculation, but just because of the actual scope of this statement from Todd Howard, I believe it has to more or less confirm Starfield will have aliens just for this statement to even have a shred of truth to it, and Todd Howard is known for telling sweet little lies for sure. But the thing is, he is no stranger to the gaming industry. He's been in the gaming industry for a very long time, so he's gonna try to limit the amount of stuff he's gonna talk up, because if anyone knows not to talk stuff up because it can bite you in the ass, it is Todd Howard. He has talked stuff up in the past that has eventually come to not be true. I mean, sweet little lies is a meme based around Todd Howard. However, I wouldn't expect him to make that mistake again, especially in regards to this statement here, because this statement is a pretty big statement, and it comes to us from a no-clip documentary about Bethesda Game Studios in June of 2018, and Todd Howard was asked about Starfield a little bit, and they actually talked for a very brief amount of time about this game, and one of the statements he said about Starfield in this interview basically just echoed into eternity, because still in 2021, it's like the main reason a lot of people are hyped about this game, and anytime people forget about this statement like me, and then you remember it, you get super hyped again, and this is the statement right here.
Like, yes, that is what we're doing. But that's another thing where not just, hey, we should announce it, but how much thought we've given it for a long time. So on that original list, Fallout, the biggest, most epic science fiction thing you could possibly imagine. The biggest, most epic science fiction thing you could possibly imagine. The biggest, most epic science fiction thing you could possibly imagine.
Starfield is the most epic science fiction thing ever. And this is something I broke down in previous videos, so I'm not going to break it down and hype it up again in today's video, because I've done this already numerous times. But man, that statement is crazy. Just think about the scope of this statement. Todd Howard is a fan of many, many franchises, especially sci-fi franchises. And in terms of sci-fi fantasy games, science fiction epics, there's a lot to list. So we know Starfield is a science fiction epic because Todd Howard said it was. Star Wars is a science fiction epic. Star Trek is a science fiction epic. A Mass Effect very well could be. Battlestar Galactica. I could just keep listing potential science fiction epics, right? That's the actual variable here. However, Todd Howard said that Starfield is the most science fiction epic thing to ever exist, meaning that it has the most epic science fiction out of anything, out of Star Wars, out of Star Trek, out of all this, Starfield is the most epic one. That's a huge statement to make, and I don't think even Todd Howard, with his sweet little lies, would just misspeak with such a massive statement like that. I believe in his own words and in his mind, it is the most epic science fiction thing to ever imagine. Now, with that variable in place, let's compare it to everything else. Star Wars, Star Trek, all those have aliens in them, right? So for something to be even more epic in terms of science fiction than, say, Star Wars, it would have to have, at least by default, aliens, right? Because how can you be more epic than something with aliens and not have aliens? It just doesn't make sense, because there have been some really grand sci-fi settings, like I keep listing Star Wars and Mass Effect. Mass Effect has aliens. All these aliens have deep lore, deep reasoning for things, deep and interesting technology, kind of their own version of space magic. Does that mean that Starfield will have space magic as well? Because Todd Howard has said that Starfield is not going to be completely sci-fi fantasy and still have some realism mixed into things, so if space magic isn't in Starfield, even though it still might be, aliens would have to be in Starfield. If aliens aren't in Starfield, then there's no way Todd Howard should have even come close to saying this statement.
The biggest, most epic science fiction thing you could possibly imagine.
Starfield would definitely not be even an epic science fiction thing, let alone the most epic science fiction thing if there are no aliens. I don't think that's just an opinion statement by myself. You can have epic science fiction, I guess, without aliens, but the most epic? No, you can't. There has to be aliens in a game. That doesn't mean the aliens can be playable. They can be a playable race. That just means aliens, multiple alien races with culture and identities and interesting backstories will have to be in Starfield. And, well, this can't be considered a statement from Todd Howard confirming aliens in a game based upon the rhetoric of the statement alone, and this being an official statement, it is the most closely linked thing to any official statement about aliens and Starfield from anyone within Bethesda and the statements from Todd Howard themselves. So yes, take this with that grain of speculation salt like anything else, but I hope I did a good enough job explaining to you why I think that this is low-key confirmable evidence that Starfield should be in the game, because if it's not, Todd Howard lied out of his ass completely. Skooma bottles just kept falling out completely, hitting the floor, causing gas and shitty skooma vapors to get up in the air and to make you sick, and yes, that's basically the taste that would be in everyone's mouth if he lied here, because you can't have the most epic science fiction without aliens. And that's going to finish up what I want to talk about in today's video. As always, if you enjoy the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn notifications on. And as always, huge shout out and appreciation to these amazing people for going above and beyond to support the channel and bring you content like this. If you want to get a permanent future video shout out in every single one of my videos from this point forward, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. You'll get a bunch of exclusive awards. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when maybe I'll talk about the Elder Scrolls 7 just to see people comment down in the comments below, why are you talking about the Elder Scrolls 7? Because I want to. Go fall down some stairs. My channel. You cannot talk about TES 7 on your channel.
Change the world. My final message.